Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by MMA Veteran D.J. Linderman. DJ, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. DJ, you got a fight coming up on October 6th at Superior Challenge 8. How's training been going for the fight?
Training's going good, man. Training with a lot of bigger guys. I'm used to training with some smaller guys to working with a lot faster guys. But I'm working with a lot heavier guys now, a lot stronger for my fight coming up.
Are you training at Brave Legion for this fight?
I'm going up there here. I think it is Monday. I'll be up there for about 2 weeks. I'll come back here and train a little bit with Devin Cole, and then from there on out, it'll be me and my camp.
Mm-hmm. Now, your opponent, Ilir Latifi, how much do you know about him?
Well, Latifi, we had some issues with the Superior fight, and I will not be fighting Ilir.
Oh.
And we have some legal stuff going on. I will be fighting in November for the World Series of Fighting. Mm-hmm. But I can't say who I'm fighting yet. Mm-hmm. So it'll be coming out here in a few days. I believe Monday it'll be coming out. Mm-hmm. But it's a big fight, and it's one that nobody wants to miss.
Mm-hmm. So this fight on October 6th is off because of legal issues?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, all right, I got it. So, DJ, your last fight at Legacy 12, you defeated Dale Mitchell. How did you feel about your performance in the fight?
Oh, I thought it was good, man. I did exactly like I wanted to. I came in there, I grinded him down. That's what you got to do to guys like Dale Mitchell, man. They're big and strong, and they have a limited gas tank. And I went in there and brought him to the ground several times. Did the old ground and pound like I had in my past, and I came out on top. And I felt great about it.
With this win, it puts you in line for a shot at the Legacy Heavyweight title. Is that in the works? Is that something that you want, A, and B, do you still have a contract with them?
It's something that I do want, because it was like one of those goals for when fighting with him. You know, you want to be the top guy at that promotion, and we're working out contracts right now. I believe I will be no longer with Legacy, but it will be an option for me to go back there and fight for the title. Mm-hmm. Now,
Cage Warriors, you're their current heavyweight champion. Are there any plans for you to defend that title?
Man, I keep saying these questions. I actually relinquished my title for Cage Warriors. I gave it back to him. This big fight that's coming up, I signed a big 3-fight deal, and one of the things I had to do was relinquish the title at Cage Warriors to relinquish my contract, and it was something that I was willing to do. It was a better move for me and my family. So.
Now, you said you can't get into all the details about this fight, and you can't say who your opponent is, but give us a hint. Is it going to be heavyweight or light heavyweight?
This fight will be at light heavyweight, and it's going to be one of the top contenders in the world. He's been in the UFC. He did great in the UFC. He actually was in the UFC a little bit more of a hand. He was in the UFC at 170 pounds. But now he's fighting at 205.
I have a pretty good idea who it is, but I'm not going to say anything. But, DJ, you've been doing so well as a smaller heavyweight. Why have you decided to go back down to 205?
It's kind of like where my body needs to be. I felt great at 205. Over there in Bellator, when I came in there, walking around at that lower weight feels a whole lot better to me. I felt a lot quicker. And then losing more weight, I have more agility. Like, as a heavyweight, I'm not sluggish. I'm a faster heavyweight than those bigger heavyweights. But I feel like that's where my career is headed, is the 205 instead of heavyweights where the gigantic guys are, you know.
So it was more of these heavyweight fights were the ones that were being offered to you, not so much as you just didn't want to cut the weight anymore.
Yeah. Either heavyweight, I'm a guy that doesn't say no to a fight, and my managers have big problems with that. They're like, hey, there's this fight, I'm not really looking, it's not really looking good, guy's a pretty big guy. I'm like, no, give me a fight.
Is this an exclusive deal with the World Series of Fighting, or are you still able to take fights anywhere you want?
Exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I pretty much had to relinquish my title there.
You fought 5 times in 2011, which is very good. Usually some guys, struggle to get 3 or, less than that. People are struggling. So is that, something that you really are, happy with, that you've been able to fight 5 times and,
Yeah, definitely. I'm a guy that just likes to fight. My coaches would get kind of hesitant about it, like, man, you need your rest. But when I come out of a fight, even with that fight with Laser Bond, I came out of that. It was a 3-fight war, and 12 days later, I was fighting in Jordan against Bobby Prince. It's something I like to do. I just like to fight. Getting a camp in is great, but to fight as soon as you can is even better.
DJ, you're 29. You're 14-3 in MMA. Do you feel that right now you're in the prime of your career?
Oh, definitely. Right now, I'm still learning. Every day, I'm learning something new, and my body it's at the prime right now. I have to really show and take these big fights and show people that I'm in my prime and I'm stepping up to bigger places.
The Ultimate Fighter, they just recently had an audition for the upcoming season, which I guess they were planning on doing both light heavyweight and middleweight. Now they're just going to do middleweight. But did you participate in this tryout?
No, I didn't. I participated in the heavyweight one back when Kimbo Slice and all them were on the show, and it just wasn't me. If I'm going to get in there, I'm going to get in there because they see me fighting. And my management has had talks with them. They know I'm out there, and they're waiting to see what's coming next at me.
Mm-hmm. Now, you being so active with fighting, that's got to kind of be, one of the perks to not being in the UFC, because in the UFC you wouldn't have been able to fight 5 times this year. So that's got to kind of be a positive for not being there, right? Because you can be more active.
Yeah, exactly. It was nice being able to be like a free agent and hopping at different organizations like Legacy, Cage Warriors, and thankful for Cage Warriors, they were letting me go out of that, going and fighting at Legacy, and was going to fight at Sweden. And up there in Canada with against some Malays and stuff. It's great being able to fight and win when you want. Not waiting for, hey, it's time for you to fight. When the time comes, I'll be grateful. I'll be there at the big show, waiting to give them their minimum fights. That they want to give you. That they're going to get some big fights out of me.
How much have you enjoyed the traveling? Because you've been basically all over the world, this past year. How much did you enjoy the traveling? Because for a long time you were just in the Pacific Northwest doing your thing. Now you've been able to move around. Do you enjoy the travel?
Oh, for sure, man. Going out to Ireland was great. Seeing things that most people don't see in the world, And going up to Jordan, I got to see places like the Roman Theater they have out there that's 2,000 years old. And it was great to see those kind of things and have those experiences, be able to tell my kids when I'm done fighting and stuff, all these things that I've got to do.
When you defeated Mike Hayes, that gave you the Cage Warriors heavyweight title. You've also fought Mike Hayes once before. Is it just one of those things where you just have this guy's number and you're just able to know what he's doing? Because a lot of people thought the second time around he was going to have the advantage.
In that fight, I think I broke him mentally before the fight, and I broke him really physically in the fight. But I had his number. I knew exactly what he was going to do. He has improved. I could give him that. He has improved with his jits and defense and stuff like that. It was a little harder for the takedowns this time. But I just knew exactly what he was coming out with. And when I come out with something different now. Almost every time I come out in my last 4 or 5 fights, I'm moving faster. I'm not just standing in front of you and want to brawl anymore.
Now, this fight for World Series of Fighting, is this going to be part of the main card, the broadcast card on, what is that called, NBC Sportsnet now?
Yes, it'll be part of that, yeah. This hasn't been announced. It's something I can't say.
Oh, okay. I hear you. Well, DJ, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you would like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Yeah, fighting. You'll know who I'll be fighting here in a few days. And I think get my team back home at Do Something Athletics. You can check us out at DoSomethingAthletics.com. Clinch, mouth guard, definitely big help from them. Training mask, non-fight gear. Everybody out there that's helped me locally and out there that's helped me sponsor-wise. I thank everybody.
DJ, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it.